So let us have the introduction. Okay. So our engineering systems are designed, okay, to operate well in the face of the uncertainty of characteristics of components and operating conditions. Okay. Now, as I told you, so these theoretical things, okay, so you can manage from the literature. Can you manage it? Hello. Have you got any literature with you?
No, sir.
Then I will do it. Hmm. So all this theoretical, okay, that is the explanation, and this definition, all these things. So it is very impossible to write on this DG board. Okay, so we can go for the derivation, mathematical, all those. That is the graphical things. But these theoretical things, you should manage it from the literature. So I think at your end there will be no that is problem in finding the literature. Is it so? You respond quickly.
You can find the soft copies, sir.
So so if you are managed to soft copy, then somebody if finds the soft copy, you can circulate among yourself. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So because all these definitions etc. Okay. So it is impossible to manage with this 4x4 screen. Okay. So basically, so the very important definitions I will dictate quickly if people have to note down, and the remaining mathematical explanation, all those things I will try to do on the board. Okay. So so before coming to the next class, so everybody either you can arrange the hard copy or soft copy. Okay. If somebody arranging the soft copy, you can circulate among yourself. Okay. So from there you can go through all those theoretical aspects of these things. So as I told you, the engineering systems are designed to operate well in the face of the uncertainty, okay, of characteristics of components and operating conditions. In some cases, so uncertainty is introduced in the operations of the system, okay, intentionally. Now understanding how to model uncertainty and how to analyze its effects, okay, then should be an essential part of an engineering education. So this randomness is a key element of all systems that we design physically. So just like your internet routers are built to absorb traffic fluctuations, your buildings must be resist, okay, the unpredictable vibrations of any natural calamity. The power distribution, okay, of grid, so carries an unpredictable load, okay. Then integrated circuit manufacturing steps are subjected to unpredictable temperature variations, okay, or any that is the material composition variation, okay. So such things, okay. So we find generally some kind of randomness in the system design, okay. So the probability theory is a mathematical model of uncertainty, okay, or randomness. So the purpose of this theory is to describe and of course to predict such averages in terms of probabilities of events, okay. So the probability of an event, let us denote the event as the A, event A is a number, okay. So we assign a number to the occurrence of an event A, let it be P of A, okay. Then we can interpret this probability of the occurrence of event A, that is approximated to Na by N, Okay, so the event A, for certain event A, okay, now we can write that is P of A equals to Na by N. Okay, so here Na is the number of favorable occurrences and N is the total number of trials. Okay, so this P of A, you can say, approximated to Na by N. Now when we consider N is very very large, then it will be equated to Na by N. Okay, so our N, where the small n is the number of trials applied to that event, okay, and Na is the favorable number of occurrences, okay, for the event A. Clear? Now when we apply and in this definition of probability, okay, so certain terminologies we use, okay, while defining the probability, that is sufficiently large or a high degree of certainty or close. Okay, so these terminologies or these words are not in precise form. Okay, because these words dependent on the number of trials we are applying, okay, that particular event. Okay, now while applying this probability theory to the real life problems, so there are certain steps we have to examine. Okay, so basically we are classified among 3 steps. Okay, so while going for applying this probability theory to the real life problems. Okay, so first one I am writing here, that is step 1. What is this step? So this is physical, okay, and this is observation, okay. Now suppose we are defining certain event AI, okay. Now we are finding the probability for event AI, that is P of AI, and we are experimenting, okay, n number of times, okay, and we are finding during the experiment, that is n number of times, the outcomes are favorable. Then by the definition, then we can write that is P of A equals to Na by N. Okay. Now suppose you take one example, that is we are tossing a dice, okay, 1000 times, okay, and we are getting the face 5 200 times. Okay, so we are tossing a dice 1000 times. So let me take n equals to, so here n equals to 1000, and we are getting number 5 face 200 times, and this number, getting number 5 face, is my required event. Okay, so the favorable number of times I am getting, let it be Na equals to 200 times. So from this observation, okay, now if I want to find out the probability of getting phase 5 in 1000 number of trials, that is 200 divided by 1000, you are getting how much? 0.2. Okay, but in here this 1000 is not large enough. Okay, or we can say the dice is not fair enough. Okay. Now suppose we increase the number of trials to one infinitely large, okay, very, very large, then how much you should get the value of P of A? Can somebody tell me? So this P of A equals to Na by n tends to very large, then it should come how much? 1 by 6.
1 by 6.
Now this here, this A is phase 5, getting phase 5. Okay. So what is the difference? Now if you are not considering this n as a very, very large value, then you cannot get this observed probability value to the final probability value, that is 1 by 6. Okay. So here, to get the observed probability value, okay, to be 1 by 6, then you have to increase the number of trials to a very large value, ideally speaking infinite. Okay, then only you can get the probability value of 1 by 6. Okay. Then step 2, that is conceptual. Okay. Now this step is based on deduction. Okay. Now in the conceptual step, now let us assume two number of events, that is AI and BI. Now in the experiment, so we are getting the favorable number of outcomes for event AI and event BI. So we are trying to find the probability getting event AI. So let it be P of AI, and probability of getting BI, event BI, be P of BI. Okay. Now we are finding, okay, seeing a fair die. Okay. Now there are 6 number of phases, that is digit 1, digit 2 up to digit 6. All phases are like 1 equals to P of 3 equals to 1 by 6. Okay. So I can write in this example, that is P of 1 equals to P of 2 equals to P of 6 equals to 1 by 6. Okay. Now in this observation, now if I want to find out, that is P of AI. Okay. So P of AI, so what is the event AI? That is getting even phases. Getting even phases. That is 2, 4, 6. So how much we should get? That is 1 by 6 plus 1 by 6. Okay. Then plus 1 by 6. That is 3 by 6. Okay. So this kind of getting the probability, okay, is based on your deduction. Okay. Your step is based on your deduction. Okay. Then you are finding the probability of certain event based on the, that is experimentation values. Okay. And considering n is very, very high. Okay. Then the third step, that is, let it be physical. Okay. So we can write here, that is step 3. So this is your physical. Okay. And this is based on your prediction. Okay. So what is the step? Now we make a physical prediction. Okay. Based on the number PBJ, considering BJ is an event. So okay, so Bj is any event, okay, that the outcome is an event phase. Okay, so here you can have either Bj equals to 2 or 4 or 6. Okay, so as per concept, then we are getting how? So P of Bj equals to 3 by 6 or 1 by 2. Okay, now suppose we are having the total number of trials, let it be 10,000. Okay, now what should be the NB, that is the favorable outcomes? Okay, so we can derive this, that is must be approximated n into P of Bj. Okay, now you have to find out for this 10,000 number of trials, then considering based on the prediction, based on the concept of getting the favorable outcome. Okay, so the number of favorable outcomes, in order to obtain the even phase or even number on the dice, that is the total number of experiments performed multiplied with the ideal value of the PBJ. Okay, so based on the prediction only, so okay, so we can find out the number of favorable outcomes. Okay, or if the number of favorable outcomes is given, then based on the prediction only we can find out the total number of trials to be performed on the event. Okay, so these are the three steps. So while we go for applying the probability theory to the real life problems, so either any stage you have to find. Okay, so either step 1 or step 2 or step 3. Okay, now by knowing this definition, basic definitions of this probability theory, okay, then we can classify. So broadly, it can be classified among 4 types. Okay, so this probability classification, okay, so in this probability classification, so we can classify among 4 broad types, that is probability as intuition, Okay. Then second one, classical. Okay. So probability as the ratio of favorable okay to total outcomes. Then number 3, probability as a measure of frequency of occurrence. Okay. Then number 4, that is probability based on. Okay, so let me write this in the next one. Probability based on axiomatic theory. Okay, so these are the 4 ways so we can define the probability. Okay, now based on the first one, that is probability as intuition. Now let us I make the statement, that is Mr. Ashok probably drive too fast. Okay, but from the statement it does not mean that definitely Mr. Ashok has driven his vehicle very fast. Okay, either he has driven very fast, or that can be a chance he has not driven very fast. Okay, so this type of definition or this type of defining probability, so always it makes some kind of contradiction. Okay, so because it is purely based on so some persons intuitive. Okay, so you cannot rely on this type of defined probability theory. Is it understood, Babu? Is it understood? Hello,
Yes, sir.
did you follow this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So this intuitive probability, so always, or you can say, can lead to contradictory behavior. Okay. Now the second one, that is the probability as the ratio of favorable to total outcome. This is also called classical definition of probability. Okay. Now by this definition, so suppose we are experimenting. Okay, and we are experimenting n number of times, and we are getting the favorable outcome n a number of times, then we can find this probability of occurrence, let it be event a, that is na by n. Now no doubt this n must be very very large. Okay, so now suppose to define this classical okay definition. Okay, now let us, I am taking the example of throwing 2 dice. Okay, so I am throwing 2 dice, so I can write here, that is second dice. Okay, then here I can write first dice. Okay, now there are 6 faces. So let us go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let me draw this column. Okay. Now what is the my event? Okay, that is sum of the numbers on two dice must be 7. Okay, so here you can have, by considering the second dice face is 1, so I can have any face of first dice. Similarly, considering the second dice face is 2, I can have any face on first dice. Okay, so you can have this, that is the sum of two faces, that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Similarly here 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Similarly 4, 5, 6, 7, this is 8, this is 9. So similarly 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then this will be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So if our requirement is, that is the total sum of the numbers on the two faces of the dice should be 7. Okay. Then we are getting how many? Okay. That is 6 number of times. So how many total times you are getting? So 36. So I can have, that is P of getting number. Okay, getting, I can say getting a 7. Okay, so must be equals to the total favorable number of outcomes divided by total number of trials. So we are getting 1 by 6. Okay, so on the basis of classical definition, so we can exactly find out the probability of the occurrence of an event, okay, by taking the ratio between the number of favorable outcomes, that is P of A equals to Na divided by N. So either you can represent the numbers either small n or capital N, like this. Okay. Now it has two demerits. This classical definition has two drawbacks. Okay. So first one, it cannot deal with outcomes that are not equally likely. Okay. So first drawback of this classical theory, okay, that is it cannot deal with the outcomes that are not equally likely. And the second drawback, it cannot handle uncountably infinite outcomes without ambiguity. Okay, so these are the two drawbacks. Okay, we generally find from the second type of probability, that is your classical probability theory. Okay, now the third one, that is your based on the measure of frequency of occurrence, and which is also called your relative frequency definition. Okay, or the relative frequency, okay, probability theory. Okay, now as per this, if A is certain event and we are trying to find out the probability of the occurrence of A, now we are having total number of trials n. Now the favorable number of trials, that is Na. Okay, Then, so in this case, so this P of A must be equals to Na by n, and so you have to go for this n is very large, okay, and this Na must be less than equals to n, okay. So we are taking the favorable outcome and to the total number of trials to get that probability for that event A, okay. Now suppose let us take one example. We have already taken the same example, that is flipping a fair coin, okay. So by flipping the fair coin, so what is the possibility getting head? So in flipping the fair coin, so P of S must be equals to 50% and P of tail must be equals to 50%. Yes or no? Hello? Did you follow this or not? Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Now suppose we are going for 1000 number of trials, okay, that is flipping of a fair coin. Now we are exactly getting 500 number of hits, okay. So this P of 8 we are getting 500 divided by 1000, okay. So here you are getting the exactly same as this 50%, okay. So what does it mean? So the number of frequency or the frequency taken for the favorable outcomes and the number of trials is matching, okay, to the concept for this fair coin of getting head, that is 50%, okay. Now in some cases you may not find the matching. Now in that case, so you won't get this evaluation of this Na by n comes to be equals to 50%, okay. So in that case, so what does it mean? Your number of trials taken is not sufficiently large enough, okay, to favor this 50% of probability of occurrence, okay. So this way, by taking the that is the ratio of the frequency of occurrence of favorable outcomes to the frequency of occurrence of number of trials, so we can also define the probability for that particular event, okay. Now another probability that is based on the axiomatic definition or axiomatic theory, okay. So there are certain axioms based on which we define the probability of the occurrence of an certain event, okay. So let the event is event A, okay. Now when we are finding the probability of the occurrence event A, okay, then we have to justify three axioms, okay. So what are those three axioms? That is number one, that is P of A must be greater than equals to 0. So second axiom, that is P of S must be equals to 1, and third axiom, that is P of A union B must be equals to P of A plus P of B, okay, and the condition is P of AB must be equals to phi, okay. So phi is the null event. So after one class, okay, so we'll discuss some of the basics of the set theory, okay. So in that case we can define all the different sets, okay, and their analysis, okay. So the first one, the probability of certain event A is a non-negative number assigned to the event A, okay. So always you will find the P of A must be greater than equals to 0, okay. Now the second axiom, the probability of certain event, okay, equals to 1, and here S is taken as the sample space, okay. So probability of sample space must be equals to unity, okay. Now the third axiom, that is considering two events A and B and they are mutually exclusive to each other, okay. Considering two events A and B which are mutually exclusive to each other, then you can find out the P of A union B must be equals to P of A plus P of B, okay. Now if these two events are not mutually exclusive, that is probability of A intersection B is not equals to 0, that is the phi null event. Then in that case you will find another term here, and what through the term we will know, we will discuss in the next class, okay. So based on these three axioms, okay, so the probability is called your, that is axiomatic defined probability, okay. Now there are certain properties, so which very frequently will come across in this probability theory, okay. So let me quickly discuss this, that is properties of probability, okay. So number one, the probability of the complement of event A, okay, taking A is any event, then if I am finding the probability of the occurrence of complement of event A must be equals to 1 minus P of the probability of occurrence of event A, okay. Then second property, the probability of sure event A is almost unity, okay. That is P of A must be less than equals to unity, okay, because we know this P of A always lies between 0 to 1, okay. So always lies between 0 to 1, okay. So it can be equal or less than, okay. Then the third property, the probability of an impossible event, okay. We are already defining the impossible event is defined as the null event. So the probability of an impossible event must be 0, that is P of phi must be equals to 0, okay. So with this, these are the basic properties, so which will very often will come across, okay. So in this subject, clear. So the next one, that is mathematical model of experiment or probability space, okay. So basically the probability theory, okay, is related with three factors, okay. So that's why the probability is called the probability triple, okay. So the probability triple or probability theory, so that is associated with three factors. So what are those three factors? So one is your sample space S, then another is your sigma field F, and next one is your the probability, assigned probability P, okay. Now what is this sample space? A sample space sometimes defined this S or sometimes defined by this omega, okay, either S or omega, okay. So which is the set of all possible outcomes. So this sample space or omega, this is the set of all possible outcomes. Okay. Now, what is this field F? So the set of outcomes F, where each event is a set containing 0 or more outcomes. Okay. So the total number of, or the total possible number of outcomes that is engulfed in this sample space. Okay. Now one or more number of outcomes that can be taken inside this sigma field F. Okay. Or sometimes it is called also sigma algebra F. Okay. Now in the process of defining probability, so we assign certain number, okay, and which must be greater than 0, okay, greater than equals to 0, okay. So this number, assigned number to the occurrence of the favorable outcomes is taken as the probability value, okay. So combinedly these three, that is S, F and P, so we can define the probability, okay, model for certain experiments, okay. Then we have already defined those three axioms, that is P of A must be greater than equals to 0, then P of S, that is probability of all the outcomes in the sample space, must be equals to unity, okay, and P of A union B, considering both the events A and B are mutually exclusive, okay. So that means the P of, that is A intersection B, must be equals to phi, or we can write that is P of A intersection B must be equals to 0, okay. So these are the three axioms, okay. So based on which, so we have to discuss this probability theory, okay. So let us go for proof for these three axioms, okay. So considering the null event and probability of the null event equals to 0, okay. So we are getting, that is P of phi equals to 0, okay. Now if I assume A is certain event, okay, now if I am getting A intersection phi, okay, must be equals to phi. So do you know what is the meaning of this intersection, Babu? Do you know what is the meaning of this intersection? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what is the meaning of this intersection? This product means intersection. Or I can write like this: A intersection phi must be equals to phi. What is the meaning of this intersection? Common elements. Okay, common elements must be phi. Okay, that is the impossible event. Okay, now suppose if I draw the Venn diagram, this is my sample space S. So every time while you draw the Venn diagram, you have to represent the sample space, okay. And here let me have this one event A, and here another event B, okay. Then if I ask you to find A intersection B, what should be the answer? What should be the answer?
Phi.
Phi, okay. Now if another event relation, this is also my S, and this is my A, and this is my B. This is A, this is B, okay. Now if I ask you what is the intersection of A and B, then what will be the answer? Yes or no? Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now if I ask you what is the, okay, so A union B, how much? A union B, that is A union B means the complete this one. Yes or no? Babu? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So in the sum of A and B, so how many times you have considered this A intersection B, Babu?
Sir, twice.
Fine.
So you have to remove once. Yes or no? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this A union B, I can write that is P of A plus P of B, then minus P of AB. Yes or no? Now where if I am not writing, I want to nullify this P of AB, then what to do? If I want to nullify this P of AB, that is must be equals to 0. That is the null event. Then you should follow this one. Yes or no? You
Yes, sir.
follow this or not? So, so what is the relation here? That is A intersection B, okay, equals to 5, or P A intersection B equals to 0. Okay, so that's why in the previous, okay, definition, that is P of A union B equals to P of A plus P of B, considering A and B are mutually exclusive and P of AB must be equals to 0. So we are getting this condition applied there. Okay. Now here as we are discussing, that is phi is the impossible event or null event. Okay. Now probability of getting the null event must be equal to 0. Now A is another defined event. Okay. And when we are taking the intersection between A and the null event, it must be equal to the null event, that is the phi. Okay. Now if you take the union, that is A union the null event, so how much you should get here, Babu? What is the answer for this? A union phi? Can somebody tell me?
Yes, sir.
A. Okay, will be the same event A. Okay, so I can write the probability of event A must be equal to the probability of A union phi. Okay, must be equal to P of A plus P of phi. Okay, then minus P of A phi. Okay, now A phi is phi and P of phi is 0. So this becomes your 0 and this is your 0. So equals to P of A. Okay, when P of phi equals to 0. Okay, so for certain event A, I can also write as per the axiom. Okay, that is P of A equals to 1 minus P of A complement must be less than equals to 1. Okay, where this A union A complement equals to what? Can somebody tell me? A union A complement equals to what? Hello?
1, sir.
Hmm? A union A
1.
complement equals to 1.
Sir, A only.
A only. How? Hmm. I just now told you that
Universal space.
for the sample space. So this is the sample space S, and this is your A. Okay. Then what will be the A union? Around this A, inside this sample space, this is your A inverse, A complement.
That's
Yes or no?
the whole sample space.
A union A sample, that is A complement is your sample space S. Yes or no? Did you follow this? And what you will have A intersection A bar,
Phi.
A intersection A bar. What is this?
Phi.
So I can write unity equals to what? The probability of the sample space. That is probability of all the events. Okay. So that is P of S equals to, I can write P of A union A bar, because A union A bar is your sample space. Okay. So that is nothing but your P of A plus P of A complement, because your A and A complement, they are having phi intersection value. Yes or no? Phi common element. Okay. Now this P of A also I can write how? 1 minus P of A complement plus P of A complement. So this is cancelled, equals to 1. So P of S always comes to be unity. Everybody followed this, Babu? Everybody followed this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us stop the class here, and you just stay connected. Let me take the attendance. Okay. Then I will discuss some of the things. You just stay connected. Okay, in the this is our second class. Okay, in the first class I seen 3-4 students. They only stayed for this 14-15 minutes. Okay, now as I told you, so minimum 40 to 45 minutes you have to attend. Then only I can put the present. Okay, now if you do like this, then unfortunately I have to mark the absent. Okay, now as per I declare in the beginning, as per the notification obtained from the administration, so at the end we have to notify the shortage of attendance. That means attendance is mandatory. Okay, now what they will decide in future, that depends on the administration totally. Okay, so if people have to go for 75 percentage in order to write your NSEM examination. Okay, now what will the mode of NSEM examination, that will be clear at the latter part of time. Okay, but after every module you have to write a quiz of 10 marks, so 50 marks it is clear now. Okay, so in the beginning, exactly on right time, you should join the classes. and at least 40 to 45 minutes you have to stay so that I can put, I can mark the present, okay, against your roll number. And before coming to the next class, so all of you just arrange the literature so that whatever we will discuss on the DG board, so after that you can easily understand from the literature. Is it clear to everybody? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And all this, okay, all these mathematical derivations, okay, workouts. So later I will upload in the MS Team. These slides I will upload in the MS Team. So this is the fundamental thing, okay. So every literature it will be well explained, so you don't find any problem, okay. But later on, wherever some that is the explanation, that is derivation, that definitely I will upload in the Microsoft Teams. Okay, Babu? Babu?
Yes, sir.
But,
Yes, sir.
but you have to listen very carefully during the class hour and also after that, okay, because the theoretical things I will orally, okay, tell you people, okay, and at the instant you cannot also remember at the latter part of time, okay, and also you cannot note down quickly, okay, so you have to go through the literature